Light heavyweight bout, Dustin Jacoby sitting at minus 250 against Alonzo Menifield, sitting at plus 200. Over under 1.5 rounds, minus 205 for the over, plus 170 for the under. 35 years of age for Dustin Jacoby, 36 years of age for Alonzo Menifield. Jacoby 3-2 in his last 5, Menifield 3-1-1. Menifield picking up the win over Jimmy Crute in the rematch his last time out. We were there for that one. Dustin Jacoby picking up another big first-round knockout win for him his last time out against Kennedy and Nzechukwu. But before that, had 2 straight losses against Azamat Murzakanov and Khalil Roundtree. So it's a fun fight. I love this fight. Light heavyweights are always fun to watch. Jacoby, very good kickboxer. Menifield got a lot of power in those hands. If he hits you, you're definitely going to feel it. Seems like as of recently, he's mixed in the wrestling here and there. He had that win over that one guy, Askar Mazarov, where he just took him down and just brutalized him on the ground. And then a knockout win against Serkinov, the draw against Jimmy Crute, and then the win by submission, which was interesting because he's not really a submission guy. He does have a Von Flue choke over Fabio Charant. But he's a guy that's, I guess, cornered by Pat Barry now, which is interesting. But what are you thinking on this one? I mean, Jacoby minus 205 and Menifield as a dog. Menifield as a dog, not always the worst play. What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, for sure. Overall, though, if you're betting on this fight, I think this is prop city. I think you can almost read a couple of ways this fight could go, and you're going to get decent price on him. For Menifield, I look up and down his record, and his only notable great win is the Paul Craig knockout back in 2019. Other than that, he's beaten Ed Herman, Askar Mozarov, Misha Serkinov, and Jimmy Crute. And Jimmy Crute retired after that last fight at 290 at 27 years old, and he looked awful in it. Menifield, obviously the power is evident, puts guys out. But, if he doesn't do it early, he struggles a little bit later in rounds. And we saw it with Crute. Him and Crute were both exhausted, such a high pace. And if he fights that way against Jacoby and he doesn't get the early knockout, I think he's in serious, serious trouble to be put out in the later rounds by Jacoby. Even you look back at Alonzo Menifield back in 2021, losing to William Knight. He got taken down once, controlled, and just did not look good in that fight. And everybody knows what William Knight's doing these days. Lost to Oven St. Peru in 2020. OSP's damn near a dinosaur at this point, and he's losing that fight. I just don't know if the power is going to be enough here against Jacoby. With Alonzo is 6 foot tall, Jacoby standing at 6'3" with a 76-inch reach. And at one point, Dustin Jacoby is one of the best kickboxers on planet Earth. He's been in there in glory against Alex Pereira and, guys of that caliber. And I don't see Alonzo coming in here and having a wrestling heavy game plan. I think he's going to look to land the big shot. And, Dustin Jacoby, if you want to play the kickboxing and striking game with him and that's all you got, it's going to be a hard night at the office for anybody. So I think Jacoby wins this fight. And if it's not a round 1 knockout for Alonzo, if he gets tired at all and Jacoby starts kneeing up the middle and kicks to the body, I think there's a very good chance Jacoby wins this fight in the second round or the third round. And I'll be very interested to see what those odds are by KO. Because, again, Jacoby loses the fight to Azamat Murzakanov in Kansas City, which we were at, and we were rooting for Jacoby, and it was just something was off with him that night. Fight before that, loses to Khalil Roundtree, who's probably getting a title eliminator fight in his next fight. And, everybody, I think the whole media and everybody at home agreed that Dustin Jacoby deserved to win that fight. The numbers were lopsided, everything. And before that, he's knocking out Jung, Mikhail Oladzejczyk, took him and beat him by decision. John Allen, Darren Stewart, the guy does not lose that much in the UFC, especially striking battles. I think this is another striking battle. I think Jacoby's going to have the better volume, the better cardio, and I think he'll get the late round finish here.
Yeah, I think both fighters going to be super dangerous in that first round. Jacoby usually, if he gets a knockout, it's in the first round. Menifield, powerful in the first round, but the longer the fight goes, definitely favors Jacoby. Menifield, we saw it against Crute. The gas wasn't really there. The fight IQ, probably not there. Jacoby, very, very smart fighter, very technical. And he has the ability to put a lot of volume on you, does have power as well. I think Jacoby gets this one done. And I do kind of like the later finish because he hasn't really shown much of that, but Menifield can gas out. and Jacoby good for 3 rounds. We know that. Like he's going to be there for 3 rounds. Against Mirzakhanov, he was a little bit tired, but he still was able to rally back in that fight and make it closer. So I think Jacoby's just got more ways to win this fight. He'll be the pick for me.